Welcome back. So far what we have done, is to model things, which are basic. Things like boxes, cones, tubes, cylinders. All this is pretty easy to do. What if we want to create something which is more complex? For example, like a apple, fruits, other fruits like banana. We're gonna do that. But before we go into lofting per se, I'm gonna introduce to you some basic shapes, that we need, before we loft an object. Lofting basically needs shapes. Shapes are actually found under your create panel. Instead of clicking on geometry, which are actual 3D objects, we need to click on shapes, which are basically 2D objects. It's like a for you to draw. So usually what we do is we go to the top view. I'll just press a shortcut called alternate W. And it will actually maximize my viewport. So that is actually found here. Maximize viewport toggle. So we will maximize the top, and let's just go back to geometry and then select shapes. And then click on line, and we can actually draw any shape that we want. Now you realize that I don't have a grid on, so if you want it, you can just press G. I'll just press G again. And then if it's closing, then you can just click, do you want to close the shape? You just click yes, and you right click to finish the creation process, and this is your line, right? If you go back to your perspective view, and maximize that, you can see that this line is just a 2D object. There's no depth to it, unless we add this modifier called extrude, which will come to that later. Let's go back to the top view, and let's create something other than a line. Let's say we create a rectangle. That's a rectangle. And how about a circle? That's a circle. Now how you modify an object, shape, is the same. You go to the modifier panel, and then you go to the parameters and you just modify the shapes. Depending on which shape you create, you can change the length and width. You can even change things like corner radius. Now if you go to other shapes like star, points, you can change like things like fillet. So you can actually create as much control over these shapes. And you can actually, before I touch on lofting, you just create an extrusion. So you know what is more powerful. So let's click on star, or maybe this shape here. And now create a modifier. Let's go to the modify panel and click on modify list, and you select extrude, right? And this will automatically create a 3D object based on the line that you have created. So this applies to all the shape that you have in your scene. You can actually increase the amount, increase the segments. Now if you don't see these segments in your screen right now, it's probably because you didn't press F4. So F4 is a preview of your faces. You just press F4 and you can see your segments. If I click on extrude again for this box here, extrude, you can see that my segments will allow me to do something which is more okay, high polygon, okay, which you can modify later on. Okay, so let's go on to lofting. Okay, we'll just delete everything here. Okay, and we will create a banana. Okay, for this lofting exercise, we're going to create a fruit, okay, in particular a banana, okay, because of its interesting shape that we can create just from creating a circle and a line defining the path of the banana. You can actually create a very accurate banana. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin creating a shape. Okay, okay, let's click a line. Okay, and we're going to click. Okay, if you are not comfortable with the perspective view, we can actually go to the top view. Okay, and bring back our grid. Okay, let's go to the center. Okay, okay, and let's do a line. Okay, five grids away. Just click once, and then click once and drag. Okay, this when you drag and when you click and drag without letting go of the mouse, you can actually control a curve instead of a very sharp line. Okay, so after you're happy with this, you let go of the mouse and then you count 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and then you click and right click to end the creation process. Okay, so this is the curve. Now I'm going to modify this curve, okay, by clicking on the modify panel, okay, and go to the vertex. And what I'm going to do is to move the vertex around, okay, because you're not actually locked, okay, by whatever you have created. You can actually go back and still modify, okay, your shape. Okay, you can actually change it to smooth. Okay, you can actually right click on the vertex. Okay, this is actually a sub object. Okay, vertex is a sub object. Okay, the main object is a line. Okay, you can see that the vertex consists of 3 dots, okay, which are vertex. Segments are actually these 2 lines connected by the vertex, and the spline itself is actually the whole line. Right, so if you go to the vertex mode, you can actually adjust. Okay, let's say you have created the line wrongly, maybe you want it this way. Okay, you can actually adjust by clicking on the sub object itself. Okay, so let's click back on the line. Say we're happy with this. Okay, and now we go back to the perspective view. Okay, maximize this. Okay, I'm going to click on create another shape, okay, which is a circle. Okay, now what I've created just now is a shape of the banana. Okay, this is actually the path for the banana. Now the shape itself is actually very cylindrical, so we use a circle and then create a circle at the end. Okay, maybe this is the size of the banana. Okay, right click to end the process. Now we want to make sure that the path and the shape is actually in line. So what we do is we actually press E, or shortcut for rotate. Okay, and we rotate it 90 degrees up. Okay, if you didn't get the exact amount, you can always go to the bottom coordinate system and type in 90. Okay, so you get an exact rotation, and then after that I'm going to rotate it so that it will begin. Okay, okay, it is perpendicular to the line that I created. Okay, so what is lofting? Okay, lofting will take this shape and loft it. Okay, it's like skinning. Okay, you loft it around this line, so you can imagine how the banana will look like this way. Okay, so the fastest way to loft is to click on the shape first, and then you go back to your geometry panel. Okay, and then instead of standard, we're going to do a compound object. So we click on this drop down menu, click on the compound objects, and loft, okay, is actually in here. Okay, so if you click on loft, we can see this quite a complex menu. Okay, we can just ignore the rest for the time being. We just click on get path, right, and click on the path. Okay, you will see the cursor changing. Just click on the path and you can see, okay, although it is not following the path, okay, maybe it's because, okay, your circle is not rotated in the right direction. So what we can do is to click back on the circle itself, okay, before lofting it, and maybe rotate it. Okay, instead of using the view, you can change the reference coordinate system. You can see that if I rotate it now, okay, it will rotate in a quite haphazard manner. So we can actually rotate it around itself. Okay, so we change the coordinate reference to local, and you can see, okay, that the rotation axis is around the circle and instead of view. Okay, view, which is the grids. So we change back to local and we rotate it maybe 90 degrees this way. Okay, you can also, okay, roughly, okay, go back to view. Now we click on loft once again, okay, by selecting the shape first and then loft, right, and then click get path and then click the line, and there you have it. Okay, it's not looking like a banana. Okay, but the final thing you need to do is to deform it. Okay, we can deform this loft, okay, by clicking on the modifier panel. Now you can see that it's no longer a cylinder or sphere or circle or even a line. Okay, you can see that. Okay, you can actually go to deformations. Okay, you can under loft, you click on deformation. Okay, you can actually use several deformation. We're going to use the scale for now. Okay, click on the scale and you'll be given this scale deformation. Okay, how do you interpret this graph? It's actually very simple. Okay, 0 to 100 is the scale. Okay, just imagine this is the start of the banana, which is here, and this is the end of the banana, which is here. Okay, so if you want to, let's say we just click on this and move it. Okay, if you want to make it like a cone, you just move one end and you'll see, okay, that it interactively change into a cone. Now we are not going to do that. Okay, let's say the end is here. We are going to click on more points. Okay, insert corner points, and I'm going to insert 2 more over here and 2 more on the other end. Okay, and we're going to click on the move again, and I'm going to move the shape such that, okay, only the ends are small. Okay, you can see that the banana is trying to shape itself. Okay, the only thing is that the banana looks very squarish. So what we're gonna do is to right click, okay, on these 2 points here. Okay, right click and you change it to a smooth. Okay, and straight away you can see, okay, you can just move it. Okay, straight away you can see that the shape of the banana is, okay, very accurate. Okay, it's very smooth. Okay, of course you can add more points if you want it to be even more accurate. Okay, let's say the end there is the stock. Okay, and if you close this, okay, you can see that this banana, okay, is very accurate. Okay, so that is lofting.